Jalen Milroe took another step toward improvement, and he also might be playing a bit injured, which is really interesting. In order to show you what I'm talking about, let's just jump right into the plays. So the first thing we're going to see from this Alabama and Jalen Milroe offense is 3rd and 8, first quarter against Texas A&M, 9 minutes and 36 seconds left. Jalen Milroe has 4 wide receivers on the play. He takes a snap with the running back Jason McClellan set to his left. This first play I want to show you is that a mistake that Jalen makes. So Texas A&M has a spy on him, and they rush basically. It's 3 people rushing, but the spy counts as a rusher. But he's watching Milroe. Milroe on this play, he kind of rolls out to the right that's his habit when he does something wrong in terms of pocket and causing sacks. This is the one thing he does wrong in that. He runs out and sometimes will run into a sack because this spy is pretty fast. Most people he can outrun, and that's foreshadowing for later where I'm saying that he's hurt, but he couldn't outrun this guy, and that led to an easy sack for Jalen Milroe on this first 3rd and 8 with 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter. So let's immediately go to the next play, which I really like because it's Jalen doing something really great, which I'm pretty sure Alabama fans will be happy to see. So Alabama's in this looks like 11 personnel. So they got 1 running back set to the left, tight end kind of doing like H-back position to the left, and 3 wide receivers. Texas A&M is obviously in a nickel defense here. So what happens is the second 10, Jalen Milroe snaps the ball. He does a play fake. He stays in the pocket. He's got 2 people coming directly at him, number 10, and I can't see the other guy, but they both converge on him as he takes advantage of this one-on-one opportunity. So I'm pretty sure during all film session all week, they said number 28 for Texas A&M is the weak link in that secondary. We got to attack him. Jermaine Burton, you got to win your one-on-one matchups. So they intentionally attacked him, and they told Jalen, stand in there and make these throws. He threw a really nice deep ball down the right sideline to give his receiver a one-on-one opportunity to catch the ball versus the Texas A&M weak link, this cornerback, who actually had solid coverage this time, but Jermaine Burton just jumps above him and catches the ball because Jalen Milroe put it high and more to the right toward the sideline than to the left. That's a really solid deep throw from Jalen Milroe. That's what we want to see. So we're actually going to pick on that cornerback again because Jermaine Burton's about to do it again near the end of the first quarter. 1 minute 6 seconds left. It's 3rd and 12 this time. 11 personnel again, which once again is 1 running back and 1 tight end, which means that there's 3 wide receivers. Texas A&M starts this play really interesting because they're trying to confuse Jalen here. They have 6 people on the line of scrimmage on this 3rd and 12. It's unlikely that they're going to send all of that pressure. So, but at the snap, like I said, they didn't. They actually only rushed 5 and had 1 guy trail out to follow Jason McClellan out of the backfield. Jalen stands in the pocket here as another guy comes forward because they're thinking, oh, he's just going to sit in the pocket now. We've confused him. We can just get an easy rush. But Jermaine Burton's at the top of the screen here in one-on-one coverage. The cornerback is playing off of him. And so what Jermaine Burton does is basically run a really nice out route by coming. So watch how he does this route. So you can pay attention to it. He angles his footwork to the left, like inside, so that it makes it look like he's going to run a route inside. And this is kind of like this is a really good wide receiver move to do. You make the DB curve or bend one way so that when you make your sharp turn toward the other direction, you naturally create more space on the route. Jermaine Burton does that here. He runs inside to the left, and then he makes his cut toward the outside. It's a very smooth cut actually toward the outside. This is a 15-yard out route. He makes about a yard or 2, maybe just a yard of separation between him and the DB. Jalen Milroe delivers a really good ball toward him on that right sideline for an easy first down on 3rd and 12. We're going to the next play. So we're going to have Jalen Milroe do something where I always like to point this out because people act like he can't do it. So he's doing it here. Jalen Milroe is going to start to his right and comes back to his left. So that means he's looking one way, he's reading the play one way, and then he comes back and hits his receiver the other way because he looks off the safety basically. So look, we have here, it's the start of the second quarter, 15 minutes left. Jason McClellan is going to motion out to the left side. This is 11 personnel again, so Alabama really like this formation against Texas A&M. And what's going to happen is Jalen Milroe has an empty backfield, but Texas A&M is going to drop back into a zone. They rush 3, and they play 8 into a zone. Well, really 7 into a zone because they leave number 45 to be a spy again because they're thinking Jalen's about to run. So Jalen starts this play. He's looking to his right. There's 2 wide receivers over there. There's number 81, the tight end running the out route. The other receiver, I don't know who the receiver is on the side. Maybe it's not Bond. It's number 11. I think that's Benson. I could be wrong, but I think it's Benson. He's running the route up here too, running up the field. Looks like he may be doing a go or maybe a deep out as well. that's covered up because Texas A&M has a lot of defenders on that right side. They're thinking we take away the right side and put a spy on him, we can stop him. Jalen looks that way. He says, okay, that's not the way to go. Turns back to his left. He sees Isaiah Bunn streaking up the seam, lets it go. And because it's slightly a little late because he could have snapped back a little bit faster to throw it to him, Isaiah Bunn has to turn around and catch it, but he's so open. Jalen Milroe threw this pass. He looked the safety off because by him starting right, the safety is looking to the right, expecting Jalen Milroe to go that way. So by flipping back left, he creates so much space to throw that ball. It didn't matter how he threw it. As long as the wide receiver caught it, it was going to be a touchdown. And that's exactly what we saw there. So we see Jalen Milroe making his progression, has two reads on his left side, on his right side. They're not the way to go. So he turns back to the left to the seam route and goes right up the field for a touchdown. Really good play from Jalen Milroe. And if you want to, just see it from a wider angle, right, you can see that Jalen Milroe really came back, and he saw that his receiver was going to beat the DB pedaling backwards. And once he saw the receiver beat him at his hips, he let that ball go. Touchdown. Great play. So now we're going to see another Jalen Milroe sack now, which is unfortunate. We don't want to see Jalen Milroe get sacked, but this time it's the result of the right tackle and the right guard being split. So Alabama, once again, 11 personnel, but the 3 wide receivers are in trips toward the right side. And so what we're going to see here is that Texas A&M is going to run a defense that they are going to blitz number 1, and I think this actually may be a linebacker as well, on the left side of the defense, which is the right side of the offense. So that means that the right guard and the right tackle have to now count for 3 Texas A&M defenders. What happens if they don't pick it up? Number 45 and number 10 do a bit of a stunt here, where one guy crashes in on the block and the other one loops around. So number 45 was the blitzer, and unfortunately the center couldn't get to 45. Well, he did get to 45 because the right guard helped him out. But what that did was that opened up the gap for number 10 to get through, because the right tackle was also busy with number 1. So it was a really good and well-designed blitz play from Texas A&M, but that means that Jalen Milroe now is under pressure after he just snapped the ball. It was literally 2 seconds, 1, 2, it was 2 seconds, and his receivers were on longer developing routes. So Jalen didn't really have anywhere to go with this ball starting out, because the routes were still going up the field. And by the time they had a chance for those guys to start turning around, he was already getting sacked by number 10. So I wouldn't blame this necessarily on Jalen running out of the pocket, because I think a lot of people say Jalen runs into a lot of sacks. He's not running into these sacks all the time. You got to give the defense credit for executing really nice blitz packages as well, which is, I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. In addition to that, one thing that might be helpful is if I don't know what Tommy Rees and Saban and Jalen Milroe are working on. Hopefully there might be some type of checks that can allow for, this looks like a blitz, let's account for some protection over here. That might be an area where he can grow in that space. But in this case, it was a well-executed blitz formation from Texas A&M. Can't get mad at that. So now we're going to see another sack. So this is back-to-back, right? This is also in the second quarter, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. A very similar formation, but this time it's 3rd and 15. So I think this one made a very similar blitz execution here. So they have number 10 and number 1 on that left side of the defense again, and on the right side. But this time, funny enough, Jason McClellan is set to Jalen Milroe's right, meaning that he can pick up any blitzers who come free. And once again, this is a longer developing pass play, so the wide receiver routes are not short. The blitz gets here fast enough before they can turn around. So what happens on this play is that Texas A&M is blitzing. Number 10 and number 1 take on the right tackle. The right tackle has to push down on number 10 to help out his guard. That leaves number 1, the blitzer, to run free, and he's going to get picked up by Jason McClellan. He was supposed to get picked up by Jason McClellan. Unfortunately, he beats that block, and he forces Milroe to run out toward his right side. So it's funny, at that point, Milroe then has to adjust because he's thinking, I got to throw the ball, but the defenders are crashing down on him again, so he doesn't have time to reset. There's not a lot of receivers in that general area, so he's going to try to run back to the left, but he can't get away. The Texas A&M defenders do a good job wrapping up. They jump at his legs, they wrap him up, he goes down for the sack. Now, some of you saw Hill, number 14, doing a drag route across the field. And sure, Jalen Milroe maybe could have like thrown it out really fast. But like I said in my last video about Caleb Williams, just because there is an outlet, sometimes the pressure is there so fast you can't always expect to get that ball out. And sure enough, as hell is coming across the field, the middle of the field here, where Jalen could have gotten that ball to him in that window, number one was already flushing him out to the right, so he couldn't see that pass anymore. So it's those type of things that lead to sacks, not just Jalen running into a sack, but really well executed blitz formations, or in this case, Jason McClellan missing the block that would have made the pocket more stable. So that's just another play where that happens. So now let's go back to Jalen Milroe hitting Burton on a corner route, because he's about to toast number 28 once again, 11 personnel. Texas A&M just did not have an answer for Jermaine Burton on cornerback number 28. He once again does the type of route where he runs up he's kind of running inside. He's about to do another out route basically, or a corner route this time. So corner routes, you run up the field about 10 yards and then you angle toward the sideline. That's what Jermaine Burton's doing on the left side of the line of scrimmage, but he starts this route by running in. So he turns his body to the right and runs in to make it like he's making an in-breaking route. And on that in-breaking route, he then immediately turns his body as he angles toward the left sideline. And what he's done is, now that he's got that DB playing underneath him, when he then cuts toward the sideline, the DB is now playing behind him. So this route allows Jalen Milroe to then just throw a strike toward the sideline and hit Jermaine Burton for this first down on 1st and 10. A really well thrown pass. Once again, Jalen Milroe, good job. Execution, Jermaine Burton. Everybody, the offensive line did a good job blocking. Number 28 doesn't stand a chance. So now we have another play where Texas A&M designs another blitz that gets them a free rusher. And so once again, they really liked overloading Alabama's young tackles. So the left tackle and the right tackle. It's second quarter, 1 minute 38 seconds left. Jason McClellan is set to the left of Jalen Milroe, but Texas A&M has 6 people rushing on this play. Actually, number 45 is the spy again, so he comes up and then he steps back to spy, which that does confuse the offensive line a little bit at times. But once again, the left tackle and the left guard are kind of blocking down on the same guy at the start of this play, but then Texas A&M is sending 2 more guys on that same side. So the left tackle and the left guard and Jace McClellan, who's set to the left, have to take on these 3 people, which just means they have to win their blocks on this 3rd and 10 play. Spoiler alert, they didn't. And so what happened is that they do a stunt, basically. They have the right end push down on the left tackle and the left guard, which causes them to like focus in on that block. And then one of the blitzing linebackers then goes around that block into the A gap between the center and the left guard, while Jace McClellan is picking up the outside guy. But this is now a free rusher. So now Jalen Milroe has a free rusher, and look at those routes, because it's a 3rd and 10, so this is a longer play. He can't just throw the ball short here. He has to wait, but that free rusher is now going to get pressure. Jalen Milroe has to move to the left. He runs left. Unfortunately, as he gets left, he realizes that, like, oh, 45 is probably going to cut to the sideline. He's like, let me actually get inside so I can, like, run upfield. Texas A&M plays very disciplined defense, and they all converge back on him. And so this is actually one of that foreshadowing I was talking about. I think he's hurt because Jalen is normally fast enough to go ahead and get that sideline and run upfield. I think on this play, he wanted to cut back in so he can have more of a straight shot toward the first down. And even at the end of this play, his leg, when he went down, he got tackled weirdly. So he took a lot of hard hits in that Mississippi State game last week. And I saw him getting up kind of weird, and he's kind of limpy, and he didn't look as explosive. So I think he has some type of thing that's kind of making it more painful to run right now. And he doesn't look as explosive as he normally does. But this is an example of that. I personally interpret that as he normally would have taken that outside and it probably would have gotten it, but I don't think he can do it at this moment, which is something really interesting to keep an eye on. But that's what happened on that 3rd and 10. That's why he got sacked right there. Now, we're going to do another sack, because Texas A&M had a lot of success, but this time they're going to do a DB blitz. And this is one of those plays where, well-executed blitz, but this is where Alabama could probably do some more checks at the line of scrimmage to protect Milroe, and maybe have, like I said, Jalen, Tommy Reese, and Nick Saban work on doing some checks for blitzes to make sure that he sees these. But it's 12 minutes and 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. So Texas A&M is going to blitz. They're going to blitz. Who is this coming off this edge? What number is this? Number 45 is coming off the edge. The same guy who's been a spy in all game. He was up on Nyblack because Alabama had 11 personnel, and I think they had Nye Black out in the slot. So he was on him as if he was going to play coverage in that area, but he comes up as the snap is getting ready to play, and he rushes off of the right side of the defense, which is the left side of the line. The left tackle and the left guard both are blocking down on the number 10 and number 0. So like the linebacker and the right end here, who are, basically they're moving left and they're making room for this defender to get a free shot at Jalen Milroe. I think in most plays, or like a good check would have been for Jalen to move Jace McClellan to his left side to pick up that blitz, but I don't think he saw it. And because he didn't see it and because he didn't get that check, here he is taking another hard hit. So Jalen Milroe has taken a whole bunch of hard hits over the last 2 games, and this one he even fumbles the ball because it was a blindside tackle where he got lifted off the ground and put down. So he really took that sack. He took a hard hit. He's a tough kid, but you can't keep taking these types of hits, and so hopefully they teach him how to look for that check next time. So let's go on to the next play. So Jalen Milroe throws an interception here, just on a fake toss play. It's a great play by the safety. Jalen Milroe, I think, is slightly late, or he could have thrown the ball with a little bit more velocity, and I think he would have completed it here. But it's an excellent play design. I actually like the fake pitch here, 2nd and 19. So they're thinking Alabama's going to be conservative and probably try to run the ball to get some yardage back. So it makes sense. And most of the defense actually runs toward that pitch play. If you look at them, look at how many defenders are running toward that pitch play. It's like 7 or 8 of them. So it's only 3 people up the field now trying to play coverage. Jalen Milroe takes that fake and he throws the play. Unfortunately, the safety was watching it this time. So this safety did a good job of remaining disciplined and doing what he was supposed to do, which is stay back and watch the quarterback not fall for the pitch. If the safety had fell for the pitch as well, then this would have been an easy touchdown because Nye Black's about to run this in. But the safety was sitting back watching, and because of that, he was actually ready to then follow the ball and get this interception. Now, I think Jalen could have mitigated this in 2 ways. One, he could have thrown the ball with a little bit more velocity, and it probably would have been harder for the tight end to catch, but it probably would have got there too fast for the safety, and maybe Nye Black could have caught the ball, or he picks up from that fake pitch very, very fast and then throws the ball. The fake probably wouldn't have looked as good though, so I'm inclined to think this is more of a good play by the safety rather than a bad play by Jalen Milroe. Excellent play by Texas A&M defense. I don't mind giving them credit for that. That was pretty good. So now I'm going to hit back to Jalen Milroe hitting Jermaine Burton. So this is the play where everyone was like, oh my God. Because on the play before, he missed the easier throw to Jermaine Burton that went over his head. And then on this next play, he just throws a dime on an intermediate. So an intermediate route, the same routes that they say Jalen can't make, that he can't throw. This is a 3rd and 14, so this is a 3rd down conversion on an intermediate route to Jermaine Burton in the end zone for a touchdown. Alabama's running 4 wide here. Well, actually, it's technically 11 personnel because there's a tight end here, but the tight end is playing wide receiver. So it was like 4 wide, 3 of them in the trips on the left side, including Jermaine Burton and Nye Black, and far right receiver on the right side. Jace McClellan set to his right. Texas A&M has 6 defenders on the line of scrimmage, meaning that only 5 of them are going to be in coverage here. And they actually rush all 6 of them. The good news is this time, Alabama picks it up. All 5 of the offensive linemen and Jace McClellan. So everyone who's an Alabama fan watching this video, go ahead and clap for the offensive line. They did a great job. Everyone was on the same page. They actually did a solid, on all of the pass plays that were completed and successful in this game, they actually blocked really well. So I wish people would give them more credit for that, even when they make some mistakes or maybe not on the same page at other times. But Jermaine Burton on this route is going to run a deep crossing route. Every other route is short of the line of scrimmage, I think, outside the far right wide receiver. But Jalen Milroe is in the pocket. He has his pocket here. I think early in the year he would have tried to run here because look at the pressure. This pocket is not necessarily the most stable, but he's not necessarily getting rushed too bad until the end here when number 10 comes around. But he let the play develop. He let Jermaine Burton run across the field on this crossing route, and he sees it coming. He knows the play that he needs here because he's starting left. He has a receiver that's running deep. I think that's Isaiah Bond on the far left side going up the field on kind of like a wheel route. That's not open, so he's waiting on Jermaine Burton instead, and he sees it. So he steps up. Look at the little jab step up that he does there, and then he kind of jumps back to make some distance in the pocket so he can continue to see up the field, even though number 10 is beating the left tackle here. So number 10 is like barreling down on Jalen Milroe. And as he's doing this, Jalen Milroe then sets up really quickly. Bam. So he used that little jump step to steady himself and ready his feet and hips and unloads that ball, and it's like almost perfect. It's a fantastic play. The arm strength, the velocity to get that ball in that position and to hit Jermaine Burton with the number 7 is not too far. He's like on his hip behind him. So Jalen Milroe throws that behind. That's an interception. He puts that ball right in Jermaine Burton's area. A really good play. Probably could talk about that all day. It was just a fantastic throw from Jalen Milroe. The little movements in the pocket, how he remained calm. That's the type of stuff that people like to see. Now, I foreshadowed it twice. I gotta go ahead and bring it home here just so you all can see it a little bit more. It's the third quarter, 2 minutes, 59 seconds left, 1st and 10. 12 personnel this time, 2 tight ends on the field, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers to the left side. Jalen Milroe's gonna take this snap, right? And so what's gonna happen is that he's going to play action fake to Rodale Williams. He's standing in the pocket, he's sitting there. Left tackle's kind of getting beat up the field, but he stays in the pocket and he moves up. Now notice he's making progressions and reads on this play. Look at this. He's looking to the right where those tight ends are because that's where the first reads are, the first couple of reads. So he sees Knight Black, it's kind of covered. Dupree covered. So he moves to 1 and 2. Then he's like, okay, looking toward the middle of the field, pop back to the right. There's my check down. He sees the check down, which is Rodale Williams. But if you notice, the linebacker is on top of Rodale Williams. So he's like, I can't throw that pass. It's not gonna make it. It's not gonna get much here. It's gonna be a loss. So he said. So he does what he pulls his arm, but he's about to throw it. He realizes, oh, it's not gonna work. He pulls it down. He starts to run. Now, even though he converts this and he gets this scramble for a first down, look at what happened. Look at, to me, he's running slower than usual. He's looking to pass this whole time. Like even before, he didn't want to run on this play. I think right before he's committed to running at the line of scrimmage, you saw him still look up and he had the ball in his hand. And then once he realized, okay, I'm here, he pulled it down and started to run. But look at his speed. I don't think he's as explosive as he normally is. I think he is a little injured, but that's just me. What do you all think? He got that first down because he's learning how to use his leg. This is a dual threat quarterback. This play might be one of the most underrated plays in this game because look at what happened. The 2 tight ends on the right side, he sees them. That's progression 1. Progression 2, he's looking at the middle of the field for Jermaine Burton. That's progression 3. And then here's the check down to Rodale Williams. None of those options were good. And so he says, I need to run to extend this play. So he moves forward. He's like, okay, one more check. Rodale Williams. I'm assuming he's looking at Rodale Williams on that far left side who probably cut up field, not open still. So he decides to run instead. So he cuts up the field to run. That play is one of my favorite plays because I feel like it's underappreciated and it's really, really good. I just think that we gotta appreciate these type of things from Jalen Milroe. Now let's do another great play. So third quarter, 1 minute 53 seconds left. It's 2nd and 8. A couple plays later, Jermaine Burton's about to toast the cornerback, who, by the way, the cornerback is playing 8 yards off of Jermaine Burton, and he still gets beat deep like this. I think if they're playing zone here, they try to confuse Jalen by making it look like they're going to play like man or something before the play, but I think they transition to a, let's see what type of zone, maybe like a cover 3 type zone. Yeah, I think it was a cover 3 here. They had one safety in the middle, cornerback and cornerback. They split the field into thirds. So when you hear cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, it's about how they're splitting the field into zones. So cover 2 is split into 2, 3 into 3, like over the top. So there you go. But anyway, Jermaine Burton is running straight past this cover 3. He's in between the gap. So like in a cover 3, you have a safety in the middle of the field. You have the cornerback over here. Jermaine Burton runs past this zone here. And so Jalen Milroe has to put the ball here before this safety comes over. And that's exactly what he did on this play as Jermaine Burton is getting that first down on the deep pass. Really good play from Jalen. I really like what they did to execute that. And then on this next play, we're going to see Milroe throw his last touchdown of the game to Jermaine Burton, of course, his favorite target this game. Texas A&M has 6 people on the line of scrimmage again. Alabama's in 11 personnel. The running back is Jace McClellan, who's in motion to going to the left side. This is a slant route. So they're basically using Jace McClellan to see if this is man coverage. It is because the linebacker is following Jace. And so that lets Jalen Milroe know that Jermaine Burton has got man-to-man coverage with their favorite guy to pick on, number 28. This is 3rd and 9. So this is another 3rd down play that Jalen converts, and they're running a slant route here. A really nice slant. Jalen Milroe is looking at this all the way because this is what the play is designed to do. And he delivers this pass as Jermaine Burton is making his break inside. And bam, Jermaine Burton continues running, keeps his momentum going, runs through those Texas A&M tackles, and gets a touchdown. What I really like about this play is that Jalen Milroe threw it in such a way where Jermaine Burton had his momentum and kept running. He didn't catch this ball and have to stop. He didn't have to slow down and catch the ball. He did have to do a little jump for it, but that momentum kept him running and able to keep going. So a very, I would say, mechanically sound slant route. He puts the ball out in front. It's not behind. It's not too low. It's at his chest on a slant, and he's able to keep running and get the first down. Good play. Now, finally, the last play from this game. I didn't realize I was going to be talking so much, but it's in the fourth quarter now. Early in the fourth quarter, it's about 11 minutes, 19 seconds left. 2nd and 6. This is 12 personnel again. So 1 running back, 2 tight ends. 2 tight ends to set to the left side. Dupree and Martin Nyblack, and Jermaine Burton starting out on his right side. So I think this is another crossing route here from Jalen and Jermaine. And what we're going to see is that Jalen is going to take this snap. Texas A&M is only rushing 4, so they got 7 in coverage. This is man coverage. Jermaine catches this ball. It's a contested ball because the cornerback actually played solid coverage here on Jermaine, but Jalen Milroe puts it in a place where his receiver can get it, and it's a really good throw against man coverage. Great play by Jermaine Burton to beat his DB, and a great throw by Jalen Milroe. So when you put all that together, I really think Jalen Milroe had a good game. He obviously helped Alabama win. They couldn't run the ball. Texas A&M put it all on Jalen Milroe's shoulder, and in my opinion, Jalen Milroe answered, and he did a good job. Like, when I put up all these plays, I'm really proud of him. I'm really excited to see how he continues to develop and what he does next. But that's my analysis of what Jalen Milroe did in this Texas A&M game. Let me know if you think he's might be a little injured as well. But either way, if he keeps throwing like this as he continues to get better, it's going to be fantastic. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.